Hello, Banana.
Hey, Pedro.
So this week, Hannah, I want to talk about a few friends before we begin our episode.
Yay.
First of all, the fantastic Head Boss with Adrian Cook. Now, what this is really cool because it's a podcast with 10 minutes of meditation.
I love meditation so much.
You can fit this in anywhere.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. It's really, really good idea. And I've had a listen. It's just brilliant. It's brilliant. The actual synopsis of the podcast is your daily 10-minute meditation podcast with Adrian. There will be different meditation every day, and Adrian will guide you through this process. It's important to find time for yourself, and Adrian understands the need for guided meditation in short spells. Relax and give your mind and body 10 minutes to switch off and feel at peace. So you can follow them on Twitter at Meditate with Adrian. And you can find the podcast on all good platforms, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Highly recommend it.
Sounds so good.
Maybe
Maybe don't listen to it when you're driving, guys, but every other time listen to it.
Anytime you've got 10 minutes, listen to it. Who hasn't got 10 minutes? If you ain't got 10 minutes, you've got problems. You've got problems in your life. Okay, so the other one I want to mention is... Sorry, I'm going to bring it up. Oh, I've lost it, Anna. Oh, I got it.
No,
okay, so
good.
it's called Random Top 5. It's really good. It's basically like just a sort of spitball like us, just messing about. But it's really funny. And it's just crazy stuff like lesbian movies.
Okay.
Great subject. Lesbian movies.
Yeah.
Hilarious. It's a show about varying topics, hosted by one carefree man in his 30s. Brace yourself as Randy makes a list and flows off the cuff. 80s TV, gardening and board games are just some of the subjects featured on Random Top 5. It's a hope.
A bit of lightheartedness is
Really
what we
good.
all need right
and again,
now.
you can find it on all good platforms, including Spotify and Apple. Don't miss out.
Go
These are great
check it
podcast
out.
people. Get listening. On with the show. Welcome to the Pedro and Banana podcast. Hello, Banana. Just say hello, Hannah. Don't ruin it before we started.
Hello.
It's in the 90s. Rave anthems.
I was bored with hello. I'm just going to say it different every week now, I think. Just something different. Just a different language. Ooh.
Oh, go on then. So let's do that. Ready? Welcome to the Pedro and Banana podcast. Hello, Hannah.
Ciao.
Oh, my goodness. This is not... Oh, my.
Bonjour.
Oh, if you were Trump, I'd want to be fired. I'll tell you that.
Oh, brilliant. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Are you?
Amazing.
Good. Wonderful.
Well, lying.
Yeah.
But we're on the radio doing fake radio that you pre-record. It's called podcasting.
You can be however you want on here right now.
I don't know if people ever listen to it. I think they do in their drives, but
we have one friend.
Maybe they don't. The numbers say they do.
We have one friend and maybe one or two of your sisters we know definitely listen. So this is for them, really.
Whether or not all those thousands of numbers you get are accurate or not, who knows?
Oh, if you're out there, guys, that's lovely.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you if you are listening. We are very grateful. We don't know why.
Say hi to us. You can say hi to us on Twitter and Instagram. We'd love it. Then we know someone's actually listening.
We're on Twitter at banana with a double N after the first N _ and.
Otherwise, it'd just be like banana.
This is a bone of contention because
Banana and
I got the
Pedro.
name all wrong. It's really hard to find us on Twitter. Just search the Pedro and Banana podcast.
It's really hard to find us on Twitter.
It's not hard to find us on Twitter. If you want to listen to this juicy gold amazingness, you will search it out. You'll make an effort, okay?
Yeah.
The best honey comes with a few stings.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
And while you're busy searching for us on Twitter, we're very easy to find on Instagram. We actually are the Pedro and Banana podcast.
I set up the Twitter, Banana set up the Instagram, and Hannah's a beach. So, this week we're going to talk about something that's just probably going to go right over the top of your head. I can see the top of your head from here.
It kind of already is because I know
I can
the
see
subject.
it before we've even started. flying off into the distance behind you.
I feel like every now and then during this subject, you should check in with me to find out what I'm actually thinking about while we're talking about it.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you questions to try and... We're going to actually talk about cryptocurrency, which is a big thing for me.
Yes.
That I sort of... Well,
it's a little bit of a big thing for me too.
It's love-hate. We're both invested in cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Which means we've got laser eyes. To the moon, by the dip, all that stuff. We love it.
Yeah,
it's
I'm something that most people don't really know about.
They don't know
it's not
yet.
Really
they don't understand
mainstream.
yet. I think that's the biggest thing is that people don't understand. Your average person doesn't understand. So what we're going to try and do is talk about it like a couple of stupid people and explain it how we understand it, which is not fully, but enough.
You understand it so much more than I do. So
and still I don't, but I do, but I don't.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm going to try
nothing.
and explain.
As far as the best thing that I've seen was that YouTube video we watched with the chickens and the silver and the gold. Like to kind of explain what a new currency would be. So in the olden days, they used to
food was the currency.
Yeah, they'd give people chicken for something that they might want. So they'd give them a chicken, or they give them half a chicken.
Yeah,
or
and someone comes along with gold, and they
go, I don't want that.
It's a finite resource, and they don't want it.
Why would I want that? It's not of any use to you.
Yeah,
whereas now we use our own currency and whatever.
Against the value of gold, the store of gold, even though it's not actually pegged directly against gold. You used to be able to exchange your currency 1-to-1 at your central bank for its value in gold.
Yeah.
That was all stopped many years ago because obviously governments realised that if they didn't peg the actual value of currency against gold itself, which is a finite resource, then what they could do was print more currency when they were running out.
Yeah.
And that in traditional terms is known as fiat currency, FIAT. Any currency that's on paper, printed by a government that ain't got a fucking clue what they're doing. And fiat currency has notoriously, all throughout history, failed as well. So, so along comes the idea of decentralised currency.
You need to explain what that is.
Let's start with that. Let's start with what something that's decentralised.
I'd just like to point out that I've invested in this and have literally no idea. You tell me stuff all the time and I'm sort of like, yeah.
Right. Well, so we'll start with the big one. We'll talk about Bitcoin. Decentralisation. The transfer of control of an activity or organisation to several local offices or authorities rather than a single one. Now, what's really interesting about, in this case, it's money. It's a store of money in Bitcoin. And because it's decentralized, the way the transaction is processed, the way that it's moved, the way that it's stored, the way that it's traded is not processed or considered by any one organization or institution. Instead, it's controlled and organized and operated and seen by everybody on the Bitcoin network. That's all the miners, anybody processing those transactions, and therefore it cannot be corrupted. Try to imagine that. Okay? So I want to move £1 billion through Santander, my bank, to someone else, right? Yeah. I would have the government up my arse saying, what you doing? Money laundering. What you been up to? You know you're buying drugs. We're going to come around your ass. We're taking your cars. Okay? Try to imagine that because I sent that money in a decentralised way, there is an open record of it on the internet. Everybody involved with the transaction knows. They have to confirm the transaction. They have to confirm it's taken place in a ledger, a digital ledger. And the fee for doing so is pennies. And no one can ever see where it came from. And no one can ever really see where it went. They just know that it moved from here to here, but not from this person to that person. It puts the power of money completely in control of the people that are using the money. Not the money itself or the institutions or governments, as it may be, that control that money. Now try and imagine that. A currency for the world. A currency that we control individually as people. Not any government, not any one source. Forget dollar, forget pound, forget everything. Decentralised currency. It's beautiful. Does it not sound beautiful to you?
It really does, definitely.
Does it?
Yeah.
Do you mean that?
I feel like, well, yeah, but I feel like the governments are going to do whatever they can to block it as much as possible, because surely it causes all kinds of situations for them in terms of
there is talk of that.
Taxes and all that kind of stuff, where they rip our money from us.
There has been some problems, and those are, for example, China. They don't want it to exist, so they ban mining of it.
Right.
You're allowed to possess it, but you're not allowed to trade it there. And they've introduced their own digital currency, which is 1-to-1 for the yen. Okay? So the idea with them being a communist state is that they can operate within control. Now, truly, they can't actually control the movement of it because it's decentralised. It's not possible to do so.
Yeah.
They can, if they catch you, you can be in trouble. But really, they can't. And money still moves readily from China all over the world via decentralised currency every single day.
Yeah.
Okay? But day-to-day retail spending is mainly done with this digital yen they've got now. That's the new thing that they're using there. However, there is an argument. There is an argument in favour of digital currency being too big to fail, which is possible. And because of the way a blockchain works effectively, where it records this ledger of information in the transactions, the information is so long. The actual recording of a transaction, if you imagine it as individual digits, would be so long that even the best supercomputer in the world as it stands could not hack it.
Wow.
And there is supposedly a theory that the Chinese are trying to build a supercomputer that can hack it in order to destabilize the whole system. But I mean, what's the point? How many people in the Chinese government or people that are very wealthy actually kind of don't want it to fail, have got money in it?
They're
it's an accumulating asset.
It's
an asset that does better than pretty much anything else out there. Once enough people with enough influence are in it, and I think that's now, like, is it going to fail? I can't see it.
No.
And
you are right. It's becoming more and more public as time goes on, because I hadn't really paid too much attention to it. Obviously, I knew of Bitcoin, but I hadn't actually paid that much attention to it, let alone any other cryptocurrency. I hadn't paid any attention, but only recently, more and more people seem to be talking about it, and it seems to be in the general environment. I mean, the other day you went somewhere and someone totally random
was building a Ethereum mining rig. Yeah, crazy.
Which is so random, just in the middle of the town, just someone you wouldn't expect to even have a clue what it was is already deeply involved in it. You have people like Elon Musk talking about it all the time. If he's backing something, then it's generally something you might want to listen to.
Yeah, I think so. Well, within the community, within the crypto community, it isn't just everybody knows what Bitcoin is,
Yeah.
But Bitcoin is considered like a standard, like gold would be. It's really a measure of value. Okay, so you would peg other crypto against the value of digital gold. You see?
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense because it's a finite resource. There's only 21 million actual full Bitcoins in circulation, although it breaks down to endless denominations in Satoshis and whatever else. So it can actually be used to pay for things.
Yeah.
I can't see many people wanting to sell gold if gold's value is going up hugely as a currency. So there will be other places where there is an actual worldwide digital currency that people will spend that's pegged against the value of digital gold, Bitcoin. Or maybe a future without Bitcoin will, when it's overtaken by something else, is also possible, But what's really interesting is that the actual blockchain technology, the idea of that you have this public ledger of information that cannot possibly be hacked, that is kind of recorded by everybody on that network at the same time, invokes some very, very interesting things. I'm going to tell you about them. You interested?
Yeah, go for it.
You look like you're going to yawn. You were going to yawn.
I already have once. I did one of those weird yawns, where your eye goes a bit funny.
You got money in this and you're going to yawn.
I know. It's more because I just zone out.
You zone out. It's so interesting. It's incredible.
It's more because my brain is. I'm not smart enough to compute it. I really am not.
That's not
I
true
sort
at
of
all.
understand the basics of it, and I feel like that's what I need to know.
So if I started talking about the Boohoo thing, where they've been putting their labels on more expensive goods in other stores, have you read about this?
No.
Well, you know, Boohoo own loads of other shops.
Yeah, they do now.
They've started putting their more expensive labels on the same thing as they're selling in another brand they own, and marking up the price by 40 quid here, 30 quid there.
Oh, they're naughty.
Yeah, and they've been caught doing it because they've opened. People that have realised, two friends bought the same coat, found out
from different.
Yeah, owned by Boohoo, 40 quid difference, exactly the same coat on the inside. The label's been cut off one and a new one sewn in. You can see where it was cut.
That's so naughty.
Yeah, and then hundreds of other people are coming forward. Hundreds of other people coming forward saying the same thing. See, now you're interested, aren't you? Because it's about Boohoo fashion clothes.
Boohoo fashion clothes.
Yeah, that's
just
what you're interested
would be
in.
fine.
I'm talking about your money. I'm talking about your future.
I know.
And you're yawning. But I talk about Boohoo, and you're
because I understand that. I understand. I can understand business. I can understand sales. I can understand the corruption of that. So it's interesting to me. Whereas cryptocurrency, the baseline of it is fascinating to me. But when you start talking about all the intricacies of it, my brain just goes.
Okay, well, let's look at this another way, right? Let's talk about decentralised a little bit more, and let's talk about some of the platforms where it really works. Okay, just a couple of ideas that these exist. These are being traded as coins at the moment. Yeah. And these platforms represent something that can really change the world. Okay? Let's first of all talk about, for example, a certain type of coin that's called Tron. Tron want to build almost like an entertainment version of a decentralized platform, its own internet, effectively, but a completely decentralized platform based mainly in the entertainment sector. Now, imagine this. You use Amazon Prime. You use Netflix. You use Kraken, you use Hulu, you use all these platforms, If I go out and I make a film, and it's a blockbuster, you know, and I want people to see it, I have to pay. No, you're doing it.
I know,
now you're banging around the
You
mics.
smacked the microphone and I smacked the microphone.
Yeah, because we're getting angry at each other.
The worst thing here is I have a whole gin glass full of water right now. I'm really scared of it because I'm so clumsy today.
I don't think that's water, babe. That's vodka or something. That might be gin.
What, in a gin glass?
Yeah, it might
Come
be
on,
gin.
you know me better
Gin.
than that. It would definitely be gin.
Maybe you need a gin. And you won't care so much if you're not.
Maybe I need a gin and then I might understand all of this a bit better. My brain focuses
Oh
more.
my god, this is like explaining
to a 5-year-old.
Bitcoin to my nan. It's literally like, okay, so look, this is what we're doing, and all right, son, you do what you think's best. You do it. Yes. No, I'm trying to tell you, Nan, like what we're doing is, and it's decentralising the idea of my.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine by me.
That is.
I don't. It sounds very clever. It sounds really clever there.
Basically what's happened.
Is Boris Johnson in on it? Does he know about it? Hey?
I mean, it's not quite that bad, but it's not far off. It's really not far off.
That'd be what it'd be like now. But I'm trying to make it simple and showing you where it's actually the most amazing thing that you could ever possibly imagine.
Yeah.
And beyond anything that you could ever possibly imagine.
I'm fully a believer. I'm fully into it.
People at the moment, they're trading all these coins as an asset or a security or whatever they want to call it, you know? They're trading it for money, you see, because it booms quickly. So the focus of it when you talk about it on Twitter or any of these places is people making money quickly. That's what it's all about. Face melting, you know, that's things going up. To the moon, that's things going up. But the reality is it's not about that. It's about changing the actual world. And when you look at the concepts behind some of these projects, they are phenomenal. And we're talking super clever. It's not even about money. It's literally going to change the world. Cryptocurrency right now, smart contracts and the platforms and everything that's being done with some of these projects is where the internet was in 1997.
Yeah.
So before the bubble, and now everyday life. As I told you, in 1997, I went into a Sainsbury's to get my nans from shopping. 2 people walked up to me with some clipboards, because they didn't have iPads. Walked up to me with some clipboards and said, we're doing a survey about online shopping, and would you answer them? I said, yeah, I'll answer them, no problem. And they said, could you ever imagine doing any type of shopping online? And they went for all these different things. Your grocery shopping, buying clothes and shoes. Would you buy? Would you pay for your passport online? It was all these different subjects that they had.
Yeah.
Every one of them. I went no. It's not going to work. No one's going to use it. It's stupid. It was a fad. Can you believe I actually remember having that conversation? Now, look at us.
Yeah.
The world's completely changed.
Couldn't survive without it nowadays.
Cryptocurrency now is where I was walking into Sainsbury's in 1997 not believing it's going to work. It is going to change our very world, and it's going to change everything. Not only our very world, but our world for the better. And that's what it's about. It's not about money. It's about something much bigger. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
So, I'll explain. First of all, one project, the Tron, right? So try to imagine that I make a film, I'm a big studio, or even I'm a private small individual.
Yeah.
Right? So a big studio's got millions to put into this film, and I've got 100 grand that I've managed to save up to make my first ever film.
Yeah.
Yeah? We've both put in the best of us into the effort, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
If both of us want to put that film on Prime, Warner Brothers are going to be able to afford it. The fees that Prime are going to charge them to list that film. The fees that Netflix are going to charge them to show that film.
Yeah.
There are fees involved every step of the way with every one of those platforms for exposure. Those platforms are making money by putting those films on their platform. Yeah?
Yeah.
And me, Joe Blogs, with 100 grand, his inheritance or whatever, his bank loan to create this small project, he ain't going to get a look in. He'll be lucky to get listed at all, unless he wins something at Cannes or whatever, It's not going to happen. So for him to come up with the money or her to come up with the money to be able to put their small project on, it's not the same as Warner Brothers. Try to imagine now that Tron want to create a platform where it's decentralised. There are no fees, okay? Everybody can put on their films in the same place.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the power of the whether those films are watched or published or whatever is in the hands of the people. It's not in the hands of Amazon. It's not in the hands of Netflix. It's in the hands of you and I, the people that run the platform, that own the platform. It totally cuts out the middleman. It becomes completely decentralised. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It takes away all of these big corporations and it puts the power back into the creator.
Yeah.
The person that's made the effort. It's theirs.
Yeah.
They're putting it up there. They're not paying fees to all these middlemen.
Yeah.
They're making money off the back of it there and then on the platform. Yeah. Decentralised entertainment entirely. Does that not sound
It's just making
fantastic?
things a lot more simple.
Fantastic. It sounds fantastic.
It does.
There's another project called Sirecoin, and they're creating a decentralised cloud storage. Now, where they're really interesting is that they've got this system called Skynet, which is famously, the artificial intelligence on Terminator, which is quite funny. But try to imagine that Donald Trump, right? He was on Twitter, nutcase fucker. Didn't really get proven doing anything wrong. Twitter said, we're throwing you off, Or Facebook says, fuck you, no news in Australia because we ain't paying for it. Or whatever they want to do. These platforms have got all this control, They threw Donald Trump off. All of his followers, gone with him. I've done it again. All of his I'm throwing my hands around like an octopus.
Everything. So excited.
All of his followers went away with him. Yeah? They went.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they remain on the platform. Yeah. He's gone. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And that's because the platform control everything. Now try to imagine that if I went on the Sirecoin platform, the Skynet, and I create my profile on there. Yeah. It's me, it's my bio, I've got, funny yellow hair, I'm forever tan, I drink bleach, I'm still alive, I only eat cheeseburgers, I'm like 85 years old, it's impossible, whatever, my bio, this is me, right? Yeah. Then what I have to do is the centralised platforms like Trump, like Twitter, like Facebook and all that, they, let's say I'm quite famous, they have to request my presence on there. And then I import my platform into their platform, okay? Yeah. But I go on there and I do act a fool like Trump, yeah? And I get kicked off of Twitter. Guess what? Every one of my followers comes with me.
Yeah.
Because my followers are not based on Twitter. They're based on my Skynet.
Yeah.
And because it's decentralised, it's not controlled by any centralised platform. It's controlled by the people and it belongs to me.
Yeah.
Try to imagine that.
Yeah.
Now that's a changer in the world.
That is definitely.
So you're going to decentralise the idea of media control, you know?
Yep.
Put it in the hands of all the people. It's like the market itself. When you work out the price of what something should be, it's determined by hundreds of thousands of transactions all at the same time to create a median average.
Yeah.
And the same is true for decentralised anything. Decentralised social media. You know, the basis of control, the basis of whether or not you should be followed, the basis of those that are willing to listen to you or not, is decided by everybody.
Yeah.
So the majority of people decide, as opposed to a small group of people running Twitter. Makes sense to me.
It does to me too.
And it works for money, and it works for entertainment, and it works for art, and it works for social media.
Yeah.
It works everywhere.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's so clever. What do you think?
I think I was thinking
Can you see it working?
I can definitely see it working. Definitely see it working. I think people have wanted that kind of thing for a long time. I think we're all sick, as you call it, middle management effectively. I think we're all sick of that.
Yeah.
I think we're all sick of having to go through
As
someone
if
else for
Facebook
something.
aren't corrupt. Facebook have been
It's so
caught
corrupt.
stealing
They just
people's
pick
data
and
for
choose.
analytics. Stealing people's data for analytics.
They're so hypocritical.
With decentralisation, it's impossible for them to do that. They could never use Cambridge Analytica to steal everybody's data because it wouldn't exist on their platform.
Yeah.
It would exist on its own platform, a decentralised platform belonging to the individual.
Private, effectively.
Yeah, it's completely private and it's ported onto their platform for use as far or as little as I choose.
Yeah. Which
You
is
see?
how, without being funny, how have we come this far and that hasn't been the case? Why have we been in this
Because greedy
situation
people have got
now?
power. Because greedy people have made a lot of money
Yeah.
and they've publicly launched these companies and they've got themselves a power team together and they sit in these glass shrines that they've built in tower blocks.
Yep.
And they've got billion-dollar cars and they're pulling up in yachts and they have got these megalomaniac fucking ego complexes where they come in and they come into the office and they think they're God.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it.
Yeah.
They think they're God. Well, you're not God and you've got a fucking great big forehead. Have you seen that forehead?
It's quite big.
Oh my God. I could spam him across the car park.
Yeah, you could. That's very true. That is very true. I just don't see how we've allowed this to go on for so long in this respect. I don't see how...
That hasn't gone on long, has it? Not really. I mean,
Really?
1997, it's 5 minutes ago in the grand scheme of things.
But again, it's not though. Think about how fast everything's moved. It's like a lifetime.
Well,
And the amount that we've crammed into that short amount of time is terrifying.
we have, and like all things, like like, do you think that actual gold miners in the Wild West were all like measured and careful in their approach, or do you think they went down there, started throwing fucking sticks of dynamite around, shooting each other, wearing hats, drinking whiskey?
That's exactly.
It was a mess. It was chaos. Do you understand? It took a long time for that chaos to find its place in the world as level, and the same thing applies to the internet. Even today, it's Wild West. If you can go on and create a fake profile and troll people, make them kill themselves, and there's no recourse for you because no one knows who you are, there's a problem. Try to imagine it with decentralised. Everybody knows who you are. So let's say Donald Trump goes on there on his platform and he's like, yeah, get down there, Capitol Hill, start killing some politicians, and people do it, yeah? The majority of people that are following him, that are listening to him, in the same way as they can unfollow on Twitter, yeah?
Yeah.
They make the decision. So he might be left with some numbers, but then that means that the actual world is still full of a lot of maniacs. You see?
Yeah.
We all know where we are then.
Yeah.
Instead of Twitter coming along and saying, no, ban him, he's a nutter. A lot of people might not think he's a nutter. A lot of people probably do think he's a nutter. But why does the guy with the weird beard and the nose ring get to decide?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's so odd.
Why does one person get to decide? Why is one person president? Why is one person prime minister? Like, no one brain can be that good. When there's fucking 8 billion of us, no one brain can be that good. No. And let's face it, because we're chimps, all together, we're not very organised. We get things done, but it's messy.
Yeah, it's true.
It takes a long time for us to get somewhere, you know? And when we do, it sort of has its bumps in the road. It's messy. We're not, you know, I mean, obviously, you know, Germans, not so much. They're very good. But most of us, we're not very organised. And we just fuck everything up before we get it right. And that's the internet. It's like this thing that's come out. It's kind of working. It's kind of not. Do you think it's working?
The internet?
Yeah, the internet.
I find it a very terrifying place.
Why?
I think it's the most unhealthy thing. In some respects, it's fantastic. In some respects, in terms of, I don't know, like shopping, yay. That kind of thing. Well, like shopping. Functional, anything functional, like that aids your shopping, daily life, right? I think is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's great. But the social media aspect, I hate it. I really hate social media in that respect. Some ways it's wonderful. It keeps people in touch, that kind of thing. But as for the society in general, for people, for human beings in general, it's had a detrimental effect on behaviour, relationships, people being able to socialise or not socialise. Maybe that is half down to policing it and everybody joining the same bandwagon, so they're all friends with each other, they all come out with the same thing, they all want to go to the protests together, and they all want to make sure they're posting the right thing on their social media. But it's not real. It's not like you say, the if it was just you and your listeners, then there are people that are like you. There's no one else watching and keeping an eye, and then you're falsifying what you believe, or you're being somebody else. There's none of, there would be none of that. Yeah. So in that respect, I would find that a hell of a lot healthier than what we have now.
I agree.
For sure.
Let's also try and imagine like that, even though I'm talking about this tech as a revolution of the world, I am from the old school. Like, I don't particularly like social media at all. I find it very unhealthy. Yeah. Now, one, like a good example of this is when I was growing up, like young adult in the 90s and all that, there used to be 18 to 30s holidays, right?
Yeah.
We'd go away on these 18 to 30s holidays, and they had like reps at the pool parties and all that. Yeah. Everybody went there to get drunk, do drugs, and have sex. Yeah, that's what it was about. Planes full of people going out to these destinations just to have fun. Kids, just have fun. Yeah, crazy. It's like a bit seedy, but people did it. It was a big thing.
Yeah.
In no world would anybody want that shit recorded. It was your life, like you definitely wouldn't want someone filming all that stuff.
Yeah. It was
you leading your life privately, doing something that people kind of knew what you were doing, but you wouldn't show your mum and dad what you'd done, you know? Mm-hmm. That whole concept of 18 to 30s, which has thrived for years, closed down a few years ago, right? They had to fold the whole thing. I think it was Thomas Cook folded it, yeah, right? The reason they folded it is because people weren't going anymore. And the reason people weren't going anymore is because they'd taken up, in favour of that, going and getting your rocks off as a young kid, to going to what they call Insta holidays. That's where they go to places that are really pretty so that they can look good in pictures that they then post on Instagram.
Yeah, we saw loads of that in Bali.
This is what goes on. We've all been in lockdown. People have been in Dubai showing off their fake lips, fake bums, everything else, Yeah. And we're all stuck here on Instagram. That's demoralising. It doesn't work. The system is it's too wild and it's too broken, and they can bring in measure after measure after measure to try and control these platforms and to try and mediate these platforms. And governments are, it's a load of old white men running the show. Yeah, who ain't got a fucking clue what's going on in the real world.
No.
The fact that there's not a diverse enough platform of people running the world as it stands, women, sexes, races, everything is a joke, because you don't get a varied opinion.
All the different backgrounds.
It doesn't work. It hasn't worked. It doesn't work. It's an old boys club. It's backhands and friends and all this bollocks.
Yeah.
The idea of a decentralised everything controlled by the people for the people just makes sense.
Yeah.
That you can vote on the blockchain via a smart contract system where everybody makes a vote. It's recorded on the system.
Yeah.
And let's say, for example, I wanted to create a manifesto, but I wanted to do it in a decentralised way. So I create my manifesto, and these are the things I say I'm going to do, by X, Y, Z dates, right?
Yeah.
They are recorded onto the smart contract, I then am voted by the people on the same system via the blockchain to become this politician, and I make it, right?
Yeah.
At the point that my manifesto, the dates that I'd given on my manifesto to enact XYZ politics, those things are automatic. I've created a contract with my public at the point that they voted me to enact them, and whether or not I choose to, try to imagine that on that day they become law, whether I like it or not. I can't change it after the fact. That'd change the fucking world, wouldn't it? No choice. What I put in my manifesto, I have to do. I have no choice.
Yeah.
Try to imagine it.
Yeah.
Try to imagine a smart contract where the points that I've made on my manifesto are already enshrined in law. They have to be enacted on the dates that I said. I can't change it. You see?
Yeah.
We've decided, and it's been agreed between us and them, and it's enshrined in law. At the moment that we agree it, nothing can change. How many times have a government got voted in off a manifesto that looks fuck all like what we've agreed at the point that things start changing?
Yeah.
That's happening now.
Yep.
I didn't agree to wear a mask. I didn't agree to all this other stuff that's gone on.
Yeah.
I would like to. It's not to say that I wouldn't.
No.
But I should be allowed to choose. Should be allowed to choose.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if there'd been a pandemic and that very same politician had been voted in using that decentralised system, a new contract would have to be designed between the public and the party that would have to be enacted into law on those specific dates again and agreed to by everybody before it could happen. Try to imagine that. Are we all going to go into lockdown? Yes, no. Yes, okay, on this date, bang, we're all in lockdown. We've agreed it. It's been voted. The majority have voted.
Yeah.
Shall we all wear masks? Instantly on the internet. Instantly. Every person. Shall we all wear masks? Yes, no.
Yeah.
The majority have voted.
Yeah.
Unhackable.
That's how it should be. That is how it should be.
It should, and that's why it's going to work.
I'm sure
it's going to change the world.
Really similar to this, though, where it really didn't work. They were trying to give everybody their own. They were trying to do that, and they were trying to be fair and remove any kind of dictatorship. And I think in the end, everybody ended up killing each other. And there were a small amount of people who were left. And then they realised that they actually did need to have a hierarchy because as humans, we couldn't function without it. We couldn't.
You're not talking about that prison experiment where they changed the guards for the inmates?
Oh, no. I can't even remember what this was, and I wish I could. I can't even remember anybody who was in it because then I'd be able to find it. But
well, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it can't work. Okay, but ultimately,
is it not worth a try?
It is what you got.
I mean,
working.
Hopefully, we're not going to kill each other. And
is what you have working now? Is it working? Do you see the world as
never
being
gonna
a fully
keep up.
functional place?
It's not going to. The way things are now, it's got to change. We've got to move with it. You know, over the past century, so much has changed and people have had to move with the times very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So this is just the next stage of that, effectively. And hopefully it's a refreshing one because there are some things that really, really do need to go.
Yeah.
That we do need to make changes to.
That's right.
For us to function a lot better than we do now. For things to be a lot fairer.
Yeah.
You know.
I see a new world. I do in it. I see a new world in decentralised finance. I see a new world in decentralised social media. I see a new world in decentralised voting. I see a new world in decentralised business contracts between multiple parties. I see a fairer, cleaner system working.
Yeah.
I may be wrong. It may descend into chaos, and all that chili you made.
Oh, for goodness sake, leave my chili alone.
Might be useful if there's a big war. Hannah, no one makes that much chili.
Okay?
No one makes that much chili, Hannah.
How
many bags of chili did you get out of that pot for one meal?
One meal. But there's like 6 meals left now.
She was in the kitchen here, and I, no word of a lie, a witch's cauldron full of this chili, right?
But now there's so much like...
And then she's doing these Tesco Ziploc bags, just filling them and filling them and filling them with this stuff. Supposedly, we're going to need to...
I've portioned them out.
We're going to portion them out, freeze them, we're going to eat them at work when we're too busy to do anything else. That's all we're eating. Chili. How many bags did you get out of that pot?
No, that's not all we're eating.
How many bags? Bearing in mind, we both ate the chili, so we've had 2 meals out of it.
There's 4 bags, 2 portions in each bag. So there's 8.
There's 8 portions, 8 meals.
Yeah, so we can have it 4 times.
A pot with 10 meals worth of chili in it.
Yeah. But I did all of that with only one... No, but it was good, right? It tasted good.
It tasted great,
right.
Yes, thank you.
So then 500 grams of beef mince, which is just a normal packet of beef mince, was in there. So I made like 8 meals out of using just like that.
Well, that's worrying. What, out of that little packet of mince?
You
made 8 meals?
Packet of mince.
Well, what else was in that chili then?
Like tomatoes, herbs, spices.
How many tins of tomatoes went into that? How many tins of tomatoes went into that
They're
pot?
Like kidney beans.
How
and
many
mixed
tins of tomatoes
and...
did you open? How many full-size tins?
It was from a batch cooker in America.
How many full-size tins? 4 full-size tins of tomatoes went in.
400 tins.
Yeah. How many kidney beans?
2 tins.
How many chickpeas?
1 tin.
Oh my god.
Well, it wasn't chickpeas. That was a mixed pulses.
You know I get windy. This is insane. That's gonna blow through me.
It's just but it was good because then I don't have time to cook during season, so if it's there and it's ready,
same meal over and over again.
No, but that's only 4 meals.
You just said 8.
Lasts
that's 8 meals.
No, 4 for me, 4 for you. Season at work lasts us 8 weeks, so that's just like
I'm not eating
every
8 weeks
2 weeks.
There's other ladies in the office. I'm there eating all these chickpeas and kidney beans.
I don't think we're gonna. I don't think we can have it at the office. I think they're not gonna like the smell of it.
You've made it for the office.
They're not gonna like the smell of it.
You're not gonna keep cooking stuff in bulk like that, are you? You're like the Costco of cooks.
You obviously never look in the freezer.
Is there food? Is there food in there?
Yeah, there's already a few more Ziploc bags of different meals in there. Yeah.
What are you doing around here?
There's tagine in there, and I think there's some chicken curry.
When I want to eat, I just open the fridge and go, I'll have that.
Oh, there's nothing here. I'm going to get a takeaway.
How dare you?
And then there's meals in the freezer.
How dare you?
It's true.
Well, what's that program about fish? That's put me on fish forever. I think now. It's just a shame. Because like people say about not eating beef so much because obviously its impact on the environment. That put me off beef quite a lot. I thought I'll eat a lot less beef, Try and make an effort. Then I watched this program about the fish on Netflix. All these terrible things to get the fish and what it does to the ecosystem, and also how they keep the fish. I mean, it was proper grim. Put me off fish. Then I'm like, literally, all that's left, chicken. Fucking lucky I like it.
You would live off chicken if you could.
I've got no choice.
I'm pretty sure you had chicken wings 3 times last week.
I was trying to make them good. I was trying to make my own fried chicken wings like they do in the restaurants and, get it perfect. And I still haven't done it. Haven't done it. No, they're not. They're terrible. They're honestly.
They're not that bad.
Yeah, until you go down KFC and you realise they're not very good either.
Yeah, you're not the Colonel.
Well,
that took a long time.
They're getting it right. Why can't I get it right?
There's quite a lot of them.
What?
Working at KFC.
Yeah, but they've got a system, right? It's
they
just a
also
fryer.
have a secret recipe, which you don't have.
I don't know if it is a secret anymore, that recipe.
I don't know. I think there's someone I follow on Instagram who is like a gluten-free guru, because I had to be gluten-free for a couple of years a few years ago, and I followed her because she did loads of different things, and she does a gluten-free KFC recipe. Because obviously, if you imagine when all of a sudden you have to go gluten-free, you miss so many different things, and that is one of the things you all of a sudden randomly start craving. You may never really eat it, but all of a sudden you start craving it, and donuts and all that kind of stuff. And she has managed to do a gluten-free version of KFC chicken effectively, and all her followers say how brilliant it is, because it's just obviously got the right amount of seasoning and everything in it. So maybe she does know the secret recipe. Maybe we need to find that recipe and adapt it from the gluten-free flour, so then you can try it that way. What do you reckon?
Yeah. Okay, we'll give it a shot.
Give that a go, and then you can.
So what are we watching now? Let's wind it up. And what are we going to watch, Hannah? The new
Louis Theroux.
After watching the famous Tiger King.
Yeah, you finally watched Tiger King.
I loved it.
And you really liked it after all that fight. You also have finally watched The Bodyguard too. But
I watched The Bodyguard, British drama.
Yeah. But no, yeah, it's Louis Theroux shooting Joe Exotic.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're watching.
Fuck Carol Baskin.
Can I say something?
Carol Baskin's a bitch.
I had a joke because I knew you were going to talk about cryptocurrency. You
had a joke about cryptocurrency?
Yeah, you ready?
Oh, go on then.
Somebody today was explaining to me how the cryptocurrency market was changing, even though I already knew. It was a Bitcoin descending. We weren't even supposed to be doing jokes today.
No, it was like, what? We'll do a joke of the day. Before we go, I want to give quick props once again to Head Boss with Adrian, the 10-minute meditation podcast. Make sure you have a listen to that on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all those good places. iTunes, whatever you call it. And also Random Top 5 with Randy. Again, fantastic podcast. Please give them a listen if you have time. Thanks very much. Have a good night.